Hello, folks. It's January 9th, and welcome back. So the futures have opened and currently trading around 58 or 59. Past 3 days have been holding around this area 68, 50, 68, 50. So 48, this area was again good support, good resistance when it was previously coming back from down here. Prices spent some time here. If you go back and look on the smaller time frame, you would see that um, price had spent quite a bit of time here around this area, 48 to 46, 25, 48 and 68 in this. So actually this was the I was wanting to show the megaphone here. So once the low was set in like 44.92 or so, and then it went back up. It came back and retested 45.21 or 2, and yeah, something like that. So, and these are like equal swings, and it did went, and so it was traversing along this trend line, and it spent some time here. This was the end of December and the start of January, a little bit of start of January, and then once January came, after a couple of days, it just puked, and we are almost like kind of a midish, little bit of midish, and then it's holding this, right? Because as I said, some price that spent some time here in the past, so it's holding on like 48 to 68 area, and if it doesn't hold, then we have 46.25 back. That's an important level. Then 45.90 to 40, 45.80s. There's some good supports around here. This area where price had spent some time, so it would be around here. Now again, I personally do expect it to bounce back somewhere from here, between 48 to 68. It should bounce back and come above this area once at least to go back up and test, or from this green line somewhere here. Now again, the thing to see is it's some news driven week this week. I guess there is Powell's confirmation, and then there is CPI, PPI, so that would derive some of this volatility in those days. So look for maybe some push down towards the lower side, or maybe since we are already down from the highs, a little bit down and retrace down, so probably go back up. So that can happen. And then we have earnings coming from the following weeks. The financial earnings start, so they would drive S&P into either a range bound, it could be, or some up and downs, because the following week to the bank starts the tech week, late January, or rather last week of January. So we have Amazon and the Apple and the Google and the Facebook, Microsoft, Tesla, everyone clamped in around that 10 days of earnings. So probably they would wait for that time to make a good move. So if they are dropping quite some into CPI, PPI, then probably the earnings may make it retrace back up, or if the PPI, CPI makes it retrace back up, then we have to see what the strength is around back in this zone, 47.61 to 48.31. If there is some strength, then there may be a possibility to continue higher. Else, expect that could be some kind of, I don't know, short-term top or something. But whatever it is, just some caution, because all these 3 weeks are pretty packed, starting from tomorrow, I guess, Powell's thing coming up. So at best, expect some volatility. So, be cautious. Probably this year, or at least, until the indices settle some, be a little bit cautious, have small positions, protect your capital, protect your profits, and then see how things goes. And once the volatility subsides, or there is some clear direction, okay, we have settled above certain area, or then we can see a lot of growth stocks are hammered down pretty bad, 100%, 200% down from the top, from the highs. So a little bit caution is definitely advised, just to not go, big positions or too much this thing. RTY again, nothing happening here. It's still tight range bound. It's below the pink line. So it still has room to come back all the way back to 2000 area. Again, above this here, below this here can again, so nothing has happened for this. Now NQ is being, I think it did what it was supposed to do. So this kind of looked like a fake breakout for it. So this was the most fakish breakout for the NQ. It went up, it looked like it was a breakout, and it's all the way back down, and it's almost to the low, the previous low actually. So it looks like NQ is the least strength it has among all the indices. And if this area doesn't hold 15,500 or so, then we have something to come down to 15,000 to 14,500 or so in this area. So that makes the Qs, the techs pretty weak. And we will see why, what others are doing. Then we had YM. YM looks like it is the most stable, or has the most strength among all. NQ is the least strength. It is still holding, it did a breakout and it's testing the breakout. So this is the most good looking, handsome guy here. And if it holds here, then, we still have room to go back, at least retest the high. If not, we have some room to come back to this yellow line. So another interesting thing is the VIX. So some days ago I had posted regarding VIX when it was here that it is time for a bounce. It's looking for a bounce. So I did put on a hedge here around somewhere here for the VIX too. I bought VXX, not VIX actually. So, and VXX was around 18, I think, or a little bit under 8, somewhere there. So it did move up all the way till 21, exactly hit this line and, pull back a little. And now tomorrow again, let's say indices are down or something, it has room to go up to 22 or so. And it can chop in this, it can really chop in this zone if they don't want to raise the VIX. If the indices are weak and they're not raising the VIX, so it can be a real chop. The other thing is, 20, I think the earlier, some time ago, maybe in the 2018s or before that, 17 was an important number for VIX, where the sell signals would turn on and, we can expect some serious selling. But since everything has shifted, a lot, the traditional indicators numbers like the RSI and MACD and everything has gotten a little bit more delayed or extended. Like RSI 70 would mean something. Now 85 doesn't mean anything. Oversold is overbought at 85 can still look normal because stocks have been running really hard once they are above 70 or above 80 as well. So similarly, VIX, I think the numbers have also shifted. That's what I have been noticing. 21 is what, some brings in some volatility, and above 25 is what we are seeing that some selling starts happening. So keep an eye on those numbers. Above 17 is good, but between 21 to 25, some good chop or some, weakness is definitely there, but above 25, we'll see some spikes in VIX, and of course the opposite side on the indices. So something to keep an eye on. And quickly, we'll just look at some tickers. Tesla, right? So we had said that it will come here, fill the gap, and then fill the gap here, right here, and then boom, it went up all the way, and it hit this almost 1200. No, it did go about 1200, 1208, I think, or so. It did that, but it didn't go above the blue line. So I exited around just right here, a little bit early and some here. And then I exited because I wanted to see what it wants to do. So that was a little bit safer bet, because ES was also hanging around 4,800, but not doing much. So I said, let me exit here and then I will see. So that was a good decision apparently. And now we are all back 1026. So 1000 is mental number and 1025 is the level. So we are just hanging around there. And if it doesn't hold that 1025 or so and then breaks 1000, then we are back again in this range. One thing to note here is, as I said, I've been mostly going weekly and above charts because that gives a good idea. So this gives a clean information that, see, it went up, this is what it went up, pulled back, tested this previous all-time high, and then it bounced it back up, but only till, I think this is 786 or 80% on bounce happened, almost very close to the all-time high, and then it came back. Now, if that is the case, then a little caution is warranted because this could be a bearish ABC bringing it all down into this area. Okay, so for that, breaks this zone and then breaks this zone, and we know that this area has been exposed. So this could be a bearish ABC. So just a thought, look for this area, what it wants to do here. Okay, similar things I had pointed out for EMD as well in the last video, that it came back to the first support, went back, tested some 786, 80%, and now it is down, breaking. So again, look for 126 to 122, 123 area to bring in some support to bounce it. But again, if these are all bearish ABC and it breaks this low 130.60, then you know that some more downside is there. It may bounce here on either on this slanted line or on this flat line. So look for that for some bounce to retest this and then come back down here, or directly come back down here, or this can cap the down move before the earnings, and then so this was just the down move we can expect. Okay, so some things to keep in mind. Same thing with Amazon. This guy is not getting a break above 3,500. It tries, but bang, gets pushed down. It's not even able to hold 3,400s. Now it's 32. So if it breaks this yellow line, this whole area is exposed with 3137 to 3,025. This area, and else otherwise back to 2,800. So we really want this to hold, and then it goes back up for good this time. Otherwise, these lines have been acting some nice support for it or resistance for it, the other way. So this is still so look. So if this is how it's making a lower high, higher low. Yeah, higher low on this trend line on a monthly chart. That's why it's very important to go back one more time frame and see what price has been doing, and we may get a clearer price action as to see if its support is breaking or not. So obviously it looks like some weakness is there on the monthly side. So below this we definitely have the other line exposed. So it's like a Z. Price has been on the upper side of this Z so far, and then if it wants to go on the lower side of this Z, then we know what's happening. But breaking this line would not be good. Then this area is definitely exposed. 2,500 to 2,000 is definitely exposed. So price is still here. Okay, this guy Netflix also. So we had this, right? This was the consolidation when it broke out, and it has been traveling along this. So it did hit that line, boom, hit, boom, hit, boom, hit, boom. Now it is down. So if it doesn't hold this 529 zone, then we hit some early 500s exposed to back to some late 400s. So look for those. If the support comes in somewhere here, some tight price action is also there. If there is nothing, then we will think that it will come all the way down, but that may not be the case depending on how everything is behaving. So look for 529 to early 500s and see if that holds. Apple also, one thing was I was looking for, I had mentioned multiple times, 153 and 1 cent. That's all I was looking for, it to reset the cycle to 360. but it went all the way to 182.94. So 6 cents to 183 and that 1 cent extra. 7 cents it left on the table. It still did not hit. And, this also looked like a bearish ABC, three-day bearish ABC, ABC, and, some things to come down. Again, back to 169, 167, 165. There's a little bit close cluster in Apple. Yeah. Why is it like this? Or was it like this? Or maybe it was weekly, so I just leave it like that. So we'll look if it can find some supports here, and then it wants to move up, and that would be something which we will look for. So a breakout, and then it did test the breakout and then back up, and still cannot find some good relief to stay over 175. Basically, we want to stay over 175 and then 181. So it was not able to stay over. It did try a lot of time here to stay over 181. It couldn't. It did not even take out my numbers. So it's possible that this time around it may not do that. Earnings may do that, or maybe sometime much later it may do that. So we will see. This guy also not getting any breaks, hits this line and then falls back between that tight range, but it's still kind of holding this purple line and tries to go below the purple line and goes back up. See these long wicks. So it's still some good interest for it to stay over, but there's not much strength. So it still has a few days to probably an earnings thing, to push it out of this this zone here, or somewhere down, also coming back to 300, or so this would be some make or break. So this was our breakout, 275, I think, or somewhere in this zone. 275 to 300 was a breakout area, and if it doesn't hold this, then we have some exposure down here. So let's see what they all do. So we did the FANGs, Microsoft. I don't know, for a long time it took me to get into this one in the FANG zone. Again, this Microsoft is far more clean. It's clean. This guy has real trouble coming down, and it's very good at going back up. So that shows some really good strength in the stock. Again, this 303, 306, time has spent a lot of time here. 306, 3012, 320 doesn't hold, then we know that some weakness is there for it to come down. But this does look like a left shoulder head, then right shoulder, probably, who knows. Or it can also do that, come back here, holds here, go back one more time up, and then come down. So we will see, which side of the lines things are testing. GS also, it tried. So I think here I had mentioned last time, somewhere here we were there, or here, that, expect the price to test 400 plus. It did go there, 412, didn't do much. So kind of, it's still resisting this area here, this area. I think we can draw a line here, somewhere here. So if this area, if it wants to stay above, it's good, below, it's weakness. So, and the earnings are coming in. The earning is for this one is, this TV shows 18th Jan, but I don't trust TV because the dates are wrong. I mean, not correct most of the time. I felt JPM had relatively good strength with respect to other financials. Again, see, inside days, it is happening. And price was still positive versus the others were negative. At least GS was negative. So this has, again, oh wow. So this, it stopped right here on this line. So again, spend time here, and then go up, or come down. So this would be a good deciding point. Probably a strangle close triangle around 2 to 3 strikes above or below can matter, but needs time. At least 3 weeks out can help. Or if a straddle is affordable, then around 166, 167 may be rewardable. This earning also should be around the same time frame. 14th Jan. 14th Jan is this week. Yeah. Oh, so in 2-3 days, I think around CPI, this guy must report then, I guess. Oh, wow, BAC is really good. I I said that look for it for you to buy around 45. I think this is where we were talking when I made my last video. And look at this candle. Approximately 5 points. I think it was under 45 at that time, if I'm not wrong. And I just concentrated on GF, and I was looking at JPM. I do not even have this on my watch list. I should put this on my watch list. Otherwise, I was thinking of, I said, to make a note for myself to buy this at 45, and then I completely forgot about it. And this, I believe this was the one which gave the best output. So look at this whole one candle is equivalent to all this down days, the whole recovery. So beautiful, beautiful move on this one. So if you took an advantage, then post on the video or on Twitter that this helped you, make some money, or or stay in the trade or something, whatever, you made good use of it. So that was BAC. Then what do we have? Oh yeah, we were talking about roadblocks. So these are still in ranges, still holding this line 81, but no good movement on the upside though. It did try to go up. I think it filled the gap on the upside, but it came back all the way down. Now it's a whole, so either go above this area 90, 91, and then try to go over 95, 96. Then we know, okay, it wants to retrace up some more from here, somewhere around 119. I would take 100 in this area. This would be a nice play. Oops, nice play going upside. But if not, then this should offer some good support for it. I think on the daily we can see the gap. So what they did, I think, is they filled the higher gap. 77, I think this went to 82. That was some other stock. So this gap is still a little bit gap is still remaining to 77, 70, 79, maybe $1 more from the previous action. Yeah, $2 more from the previous action, and then it fills the gap. So they did fill the higher gap. They did fill the higher candle, but they didn't fill the actual gap candle. So this one is remaining. Generally, the smaller time frames give a good information. So the gap fill would be around 77.22. Okay, so they did fill the higher gap. 80, yeah. So they did fill the higher gap, but they did fill here. See, they did fill the higher gap, but they didn't fill the actual gap. So that 77 is still this is still remaining. Coming to this candle, the high is 77. The high should be 77, I think. 77.22. So it should. So that is the actual gap fill. Rivian. This also. This also 75. So this is 95 was the IPO low, and it did break down from here, and now it's down on this. So again, we want it to go back over this. This is 92, 90, yeah, 92. And then I wanted to, this 97 is a strong level on it. Okay, so I was hoping for it to go and retest that back up, but it didn't do that. It went a little bit up, some 92 or so, but it didn't cross that area. So it's still if it stays, it goes over 97 and stays over, then we do have a test around 125, 127 pending on this one. So look for 97 to close over. Otherwise, there would be weakness. And if it keeps getting thrown off from there, then, you know, it may go much lower, like all the other stocks like Hood and all, like they all break the IPO lows and came down a lot. So expect this also to do the same 70, 75 to 50 area first. We'll see. I still have to calculate from this high. If this high is good, but from 180, then how much more it can go down to, just as a first bigger support area where it can come. But you know, still looking to see if the retest of the high has not been done on this. So I'm expecting this first to do 97 and then over it. If it does that, then the price section is much more cleaner versus keep falling down. So that's all I mean. NVIDIA. So NVIDIA couldn't hold that 306, 312 area. You know, we had talked about this. I think these are more cleaner. The weeklies are more cleaner. So here, right, we had talked that, you know, expect the price to go, but it goes here and then gets smacked down, and the 281, 289 was its price cycle number. And so many times it has found support. I think before the earning, 3 or 4 times it came here and then it went back. At one time it came to 275 and then went back all the way up to 300s. And now it's again in the 275 area, 272, 275. So this, watch for this. Otherwise, then we have this 257 and this 228 so this previous weekly candle, and then this breakout. Okay, so this was the breakout. So who knows, it may come all the way down to test that. They generally do that. Doing that is more cleaner, but if they do it somewhere from here and then go back up, then that move is so much clean versus zoom one big vertical building and then, you know, crash half the building or the full building. That doesn't look good, but that's what is today's world. You know, create a big skyscraper and then collapse that skyscraper. Yeah, one of the requests I was getting was this CRM. Okay, so CRM, I have put the CRM numbers out there. So if you go and look at the thread, it has the cycle numbers. This number is still pending on it, but it went to some good resistance level and then it came down. So below 251 is weak towards, and we want 235 to hold. Otherwise, we'll see early 200s. And that is, oh, where did my screen go? Okay. So here. So it's still, it broke 235. Okay, it doesn't matter, but it's still on this trend line. So it came and stopped right at this trend line. So again, start of the next week, would it want to go up like this and, you know, test this area 250 to 250, 253 or 260, you know, just put a clean number, 250 to 260 area, or, you know, and then, you know, it travels along this line or breaks down and comes more down. So this is something you want to look for. So this is a very sharp fall all the way from 312 to 226. So that's almost 100 points. So some, at least some test around here to here is expected, but not necessary, as I said. So, but look for price to travel along the zone and see if there is interest below here. Then all this price action and all this price is exposed here. It can do all that up till this line, and then, you know, below this is really weak. Yeah, see this monthly, this looks like a double top, very, very clean price action for this one. So again, this M broke, then not good, right? So we want this to go back up, test some, 250, 260 until 280, good retest. And if this is a bearish setup, then, then come down. Then that would make more sense. But let's see how things wants to go. What else did we have? I think one more. UPST, right? This one also, this is still doing what we had talked about. It's still in this range. So it is now, supporting this green line. Now again, so this was a bearish action, which we had said, okay, from here, look for it to go up. It did. And it failed and it came here. Now, again, hold here and then try one more time, or break below is, again, it is setting up all the way. There's a gap setting up to fill this gap here. Okay, so that would, filling the gap would be good, but that means it's what, almost 70 points, no, 60 points below. So this here, that's pretty weak price action. So let's hope we get a push one more time up here. Earnings are March. Oh, earnings are in March. It has quite a bit of time to do stuff. So it can all the way come and fill the gap, or probably go back up, test somewhere here. There's a gap upside also. So a big gap here and one gap here. Anything can happen, and it's in this chop, in this whole box of chop zone. So it is right here, right? So unless this box is resolved, I think we expect the chop to continue. That's all is there. AFRM, no, AFRM. So AFRM also filled the gap here around 75 or 74, and it's holding this orange line and holds. Then it goes back up to test this 96, 97, which is, and then, again, above this line, we still have some good room to go to 100, 115, 125. Below is again some 70s, can find some support here. So this has been a continuous fall since it made the high of 176, 177, and it's all the way down. So I think this is also 786. So the gap fill has been around 786, and it's a good confluence. So two confluence we are having, no, three actually. One is the breakout. This was the breakout here. And then there is a gap. And third, this is the 786. So three things it is doing. So that's pretty strong in terms of where supports are concerned. So if this holds and there are some good stuff happening around it, then, expect the price to move up from here. So this one I would keep an eye on to see, if this area holds, then, this is more feasible than this. Not that this cannot happen, but in terms of probability, this may look so much better than this first. So that's all. I think we have covered a lot of few tickers and everything. Let me know in the comments or stuff what tickers you'd like to see, and if this also. I know a lot of you watch the video, but please do like or retweet my tweets and post your comments also, that what helped you, which ticker helped you, what kind of explanation helped you. So, it gives me a little more room to work on and stuff like that. So again, have a nice weekend, have a nice Sunday, and tomorrow we will see how markets, or rather what Powell gives to the market. So we are already back up 62, back to where we were. So, still range bound, but let's see what Powell uncle does tomorrow. Good luck to everyone. Good trading.